Hello everyone, we are from Group 5 and today we will have a presentation about identifying and acknowledging Indonesia maritime diplomacy. We also have group members beside myself, which are Delviora Putrikonita, Elsa Rahman, Ersa Sultana, Fernando Rumbagit, Fitri Yunanda, and Josephtian Felix. So, without further ado, let's jump into the background.
So the first is the background. Indonesia sea condition. Indonesia has more than 70,000 islands and sea area cover 5.8 million kilometer. As we know, it's about 70% of the area of Indonesia is in the sea. So this has become the strategic of Indonesia because Indonesia also location in the intersection of two oceans, the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. With this strategic position, Indonesia can play an active role in the international politics. This dynamic political relation often push the maritime issues that are vital for Indonesia. So the mechanisms that are able to provide more effective result in resolving the problem of illegal fishing and reducing the emerge of greater interstate conflict or at a negative risk to Indonesia. So President of Indonesia is Jokowi. He's come to the idea to boost up the Indonesia economic growth and accountable development that is focused on the sea sector. Since 2014, the government has been pushing for a national vision, namely Indonesia as the world maritime axis. So next is jump to the president degree. So because of that, President Indonesia using a strategy of maritime diplomacy as a media to fight for national interests and strategic issues in the maritime field, especially establishing good relations between countries. It also comes to the foreign policy of maritime for Indonesia, the policy of forming the Indonesia archipelagic sea line. So Indonesia despite the line of the sea into 5 areas. To secure that area, Indonesia used the strategy of maritime diplomacy to achieve the interest of maritime security through maritime diplomacy. The strategy of utilizing national capabilities in directed and aims the maritime security issue domestically and globally. Maritime diplomacy is implemented through the proposal to increase cooperation in the maritime sector and effort to deal with the source of conflict such as a mischief, violation of sovereignty, territorial dispute, piracy, and sea pollution, with the emphasis that the sea must unite various nations and states and not separate. So next, because of the maritime diplomacy itself, it's come to the law of 32 of 2014. So here Bakamla is a sea security institution that currently not just only at domestic level but comes to the bilateral and regional and global level. Their implementation through HACGAM. HACGAM itself is head of ASEAN Coast Guard Agency meeting. Because Indonesia was very active at the meeting, at the forum, Indonesia was elected through Bakamla to become the HACGAM chair capacity building. This confirmed and proved Indonesia leadership in the region in the implementation of sea security and safety cooperation in accordance with Indonesia's vision as the world maritime axis. This cooperative maritime diplomacy is Indonesia's effort to cooperate with countries in combating maritime crime, so that the water of the region becomes safe and comfortable for the use both for commerce, tourism, and other economic activity.
The connectivity of sea. Indonesia has strategic geographical position which is located between two continents and two oceans. The geographical location and natural configuration of Republic of Indonesia requires that Indonesia has very large interest in maritime security issue. The basic thing in this connection are the Republic of Indonesia was formed by 70,448 large and small islands bordered by 10 neighboring countries and and then border only by land with three countries. Three Indonesia archipelagic sea pathway as entry point and ship departure before it can sail. This maritime corridor pose security challenge ranging from piracy to border dispute for Indian Ocean region. Basically, the leadership of Joko Widodo in 2014 until 2019, Indonesia has interest to improve its image as maritime nation in the eye of international community. Being a maritime country indicate that maritime security is a logistical pathway that saves from various obstacles with existence of marine security operation and the welfare of coastal community that able to cultivate marine potential in sustainable manner. The head of ASEAN Coast Guard Agency meeting forum is proof that Indonesia serious is in securing its sea together with head of its ASEAN Coast Guard Agency meeting forum for Indian Ocean region. The following describe that Indonesia interest in head of Asia Coast Guard Agency meeting forum, which best interest maritime security both conventional in nature, namely eliminating the threat of piracy, and non-conventional one such as improve the welfare of coastal communities that able to cultivate marine potential in sustainable manner. President Joko Widodo has held a special meeting to discuss the optimization of the Maritime Security Agency, which is transformation from Maritime Security Coordinating Board to Coast Guard since it in Law Number 32 2014 concerning maritime affairs. The transformation of Maritime Security Coordinating Board into Maritime Security Agency is desired to the government to avoid misunderstanding and overlapping between agencies that conduct patrol at sea. The second one, the interest of blue economy. Indonesia as a country that has many kind of abundant natural resources and has many population make Indonesia must work hard to prosper all its people. Increased population growth has direct impact on the increased demand for living needs. While the potential for natural resources on the land is very limited, this encourages Indonesia to develop alternative potential of another resources, namely marine potential. Marine resources are one of the important assets that has great potential to be used as source of economic growth in Indonesia. Indonesia is a maritime country with 70% its security in the form of sea, but since 32 years ago, marine development policy has never received serious attention from the government. Blue economy is a concept of development approach that leads to economic growth, community welfare, and environmentally friendly. Through the principle of blue economy, increase the ability to innovate and creativity to solve problems is expected to be able to encourage the use of natural resources very efficiently. Blue economy emphasizes on the four principles of resources management and utilization, namely zero waste, social welfare, adaptive innovation, and multiple economic benefit.
So in this slide, we are going to talk about the challenges to Indonesian maritime diplomacy in order to become the world maritime axis against HAKAM. HAKAM for member, Indonesia also has the potential that is not inferior to Japan. Even Indonesia has broader and more diverse marine resources. The fishing and biotech industry is estimated to have an economic value of 82 billion US dollar per year. The marine tourism activity is estimated to have far greater economic value compared to the state of Queensland, which has been able to reap foreign exchange of more than 3 billion US dollar per year. This reality shows the vast potential of Indonesia's marine economy. Moreover, Indonesia, as the largest archipelago in the world, holds the greatest marine biodiversity compared to other countries. If this potential is optimally utilized, it will be able to significantly support national economic development. But in the reality, since the last few years, Indonesia has faced many economic problems. This is a challenge for the government to immediately give serious attention. Commitment to the development of a maritime-based economy can be a solutive step. Optimal exploitation and exploration of maritime wealth will be able to boost the national economy. With the support of a strong marine economic pillar, this country will rise again and prosper.
So I will explain about the analysis of Indonesia as global maritime axis, where currently Indonesia wanted to pursue the position as the global maritime axis, and the last priority issue that concerned on maritime regionalism. By taking a position at Hashgam, Indonesia can take advantage of this opportunity to explore more comprehensive maritime cooperation as a form of its commitment to become a leading middle country that is balancing force between two oceans, which are Indies and the Pacific. Indonesia successfully agreed that the cross-cutting issues and institutional strengthening must be continued. Indonesia has also considered elements that can be included in HACGAM, including developing norms for cooperation, strengthening institutions, and identifying challenges and new potential that can be collaborated. Indian Ocean holds a very strategic role, therefore it is become very important that attention must be paid on the Indian Ocean itself. However, developing maritime Indonesia means marine ecosystems should be taken into account by paying attention to the biodiversity, distribution of biota, and the patterns of mobility of the biota. The development must be done by paying attention to the potential of marine biota, coastal management, and especially waste management. Neglecting marine ecosystem can damage Indonesia's marine contents, and the potential of marine ecosystem requires good management for maritime economic development that demands sustainable coastal and waste management. Development of mineral potential, including oil and gas, sea for the welfare of the community and not only coastal communities. The rate of utilization of renewable natural resources such as fisheries, mangroves, coral reefs, and other marine natural resources should not exceed the ability to recover from these natural resources. So the conclusion is Indonesia actually has made diplomacy efforts on each maritime problem, but the dynamic phase are increasingly complex. The state cannot conduct its own diplomacy process, but it is requires a communication process with related actors such as public. To build a modern and innovative maritime diplomacy, it is necessary to pay attention to wider scope. Indonesia must better understand the scope of issues that are focused on maritime diplomacy, pay attention to economic and cultural interests in carrying out maritime diplomacy. Moreover, Indonesia must strengthen its identity as a maritime nation. Maritime cooperation, including cooperation between Indonesia and countries in Asia, can be developed through bilateral and multilateral cooperation, including HACGAM, which is expected to increase diplomacy between countries which have the skill to negotiate their national interests with other countries. Therefore, as a maritime nation, Indonesia must view the sea and ocean as a link rather than a divider. Indonesia must strengthen regional relations through bilateral relations with countries in Asia related to maritime and international security issues. Thank you.
You know I'm gonna get